Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. In this episode I'm going to do, is it technically an unboxing? A lot of you have probably seen this already, but it's going to be an unboxing of the edition I've just received via eBay. I say just received, I received it about 2 weeks ago. I mentioned it in my What's Coming Up channel next and showed it briefly there, but now this is the opening it for you guys. I have opened it, I've actually looked a bit and I'll clip some of the counters, but for you guys who are watching this channel, this is your first look at my copy. This is my second copy of War and Peace. So came out 1980. This is the 1980 edition. I think it's first edition, as we will see. Lovely cover art, very evocative of the period. Avalon Hill, and of course it's upside down. Nice description of what's going on, look at the pieces and such forth. Covers the Napoleonic Wars from 1805 through to 1815, though there are scenarios for slightly earlier, back to 1797 or maybe even 96. So as you can see, this is chocker full of bits. Let's have a look what's inside. The rule book, and this is where I know it's the first edition, because normally they have an edition update on there. So this is the first edition rule book. So someone else's. So I bought this on eBay, so someone actually put some notes in there. Considering its age, it's 1980, so what are we talking, 43 years old? It's not bad going. I mean, even the staples aren't rusted, so very happy with that. However, these rules, there was a second edition, and with quite a lot of errata, and I went on to Board Game Geek and I downloaded the unofficial third edition. Now there is a fourth edition, but the fourth edition uses a separate map, so I thought I'll go with the third edition. And there's also updates to the campaign in this, and the naval rules apparently were a bit wanting in the first edition rules. So I haven't read the campaign rules, I haven't read the naval rules. All I've read so far are the main set of rules to actually play the scenarios. So comparing the two I haven't done. I looked at this and thought, let's find the new rules, got these. So even though it's a lovely set of rules for its age, I mean, it has got highlights in from whoever owned it before, this will unfortunately be at the bottom of the box. So I'll be using the latest, well, I say latest, these were 2009, so I mean even these are aging. So what we're talking, 14 years old. And as I say, I mean, the game has been updated even by the original designer. There is a new copy, I think it's got it's either a 5th or a 6th edition, and there is a computer game. So why am I playing this? Why am I spending my valuable time on this? Well, I've got it, I like it, and I want to see, is it still a classic? Does it stand up? Is it playable? Is it fun? That's the questions. So that's the rule book. This here is a chart which will sit beside the board, and it has a leader display, so most of the counters will actually be on here rather than the map board, which saves on massive stacks from what I remember. And on this side we have the turn sequence, attrition table, force march table, which I'll go into detail once I'm actually playing it, combat results table, combat losses, the optional tactical matrix, which I'm tempted to use, do a random sort of draw as I'm playing it solo, and then the turn record track. So we have a monthly track and a yearly track, though most of the scenarios are sort of completed within a year. So that's one-sided, good card stock lots and lots of counters. Yes, this was punched. Absolutely stacks of them. You know, I can just keep going and going and going. Now, in this bag, you'll see there's actually French satellite, Russians, Prussians, might be even a few Austrians. This here are all the counters for, yeah, there's an Austrian sitting there. Hello. Okay, these are all the counters for the Russian campaign, which is the scenario I'm going to do. So I sorted all the counters out for that, put them on the map board, clip them. Yep, I'm a clipper. With me nail clippers. I don't have one of these fancy dandy units. Sat there listening to an audio book while I was doing it. That's all the counters for the scenario I want to do. So all these, yeah, I can chuck those to the side. On and on and on. It says press it. Now this is all the French satellite, Russians, and some fortification markers all ready for me to, when I do my actual playthrough of the Russian campaign. So on this here is, as it says at the top, campaign game card. So this is everything that will be used if and when I get to the campaign. I can't see me doing it as a video, though I can see me doing it as an opposed, and it can be played opposed with 2, 3, 4, I think up to a maximum of 5 players. How it stands up compared to other campaign games on the Napoleonic period, even more modern ones, don't know. Never tried it. Even back in the day, even back in the 80s when I had this game, I never tried the campaign. Time, space, and such forth. So, yeah, all these counters. Let's get these all out to the side. And then we've got the map board. So there are 4 panels to this map board, and this has received a lot of derision over the years, saying it's inaccurate and such forth. It's not the most colourful thing. I mean, you've got right at the top there, who he says moving the camera, we have got marshes, mountains, woods, but they don't pop. The rivers in the middle of the hexes can be a little bit confusing, and apparently some of these rivers are ahistorical or even completely fabricated. But there are 4. It plays, so what I'll be using for the Russian campaign is just 2 of them. So, oh, getting me light in the way. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Boards in the way. So there's the 2. That's the 2 I will be playing with. Still got the light in the way. Okay, the French will actually be starting in over here within Prussia, Warsaw, Königsberg. There's a sort of a front along Lublin along here. The Russians, when I was actually setting it up so I know which counters to clip and such forth, are starting around here. Vilna, Pinsk, whatever that town is at the top, because I can't see it because my glasses don't work at that distance. But yeah, you can zoom in on that and have a look. But that's the 2 maps, and there's the further 2 maps to the west where you got. So this is called the Russian map. This is the German map. There's a French map, which I'm not going to get them all out and put them all together, but I can show you what they look like. So that there is the French map, and then we have a Spanish map. There we go. So if I was going to do the full campaign, then obviously I'd be playing on all 4 maps. So the footprint's not too bad. If I was doing the Peninsula, I think the campaign you'll be just playing in Spain. I just want to show you the full Spain and maybe a little bit of France. We've only got Northern Italy, a little toehold of Britain at the top there. I live here, right on that, you know, right there, right on that little doohickey here at the end. And I say, apparently some of these towns are not quite in the right place, but it doesn't really matter. Yes, from a purely historical point of view, I suppose it does, but from a game point of view, get the game playing, it doesn't. So those two panels I won't be using. These two panels I will. And that's it, really. I've reread the rules. I mean, I played this game quite a few times, say scenario-wise, back in the 80s, even a few times in the 90s. I even tried a game using Vassal in about 10 years ago. And, well, it's fun. It's not too brain demanding. We're talking 10 pages of rules and a few optionals. And I'll go through those as I'm playing. I'm not going to sit here and do a laborious set of, this is how you play the game and you play with this. Now, as I'm playing it, I will go through the rules. So I've obviously got to finish my Anzio, but this is next up. And I might even interlace them. I might go, you know what, I fancy doing a couple of turns of Russian, of War and Peace. I fancy doing a couple of turns of Anzio, and such forth. I thought I'd get this out there. This is it, as I said at the beginning, is it an unboxing? Not really, because the box has been opened before. It's just to show you, what I want to do, why I want to do it. All these lovely pieces, nicely now clipped and ready to go. So, yeah. And that's it. So I've opened it up, had a look, showed you guys, and probably most of you have seen it before or even played it before, but there's not much showing on a lot of Board Game Geek. Doesn't really, it's there, but there's no videos on it, so I'm going to be, there's minimal. That there are, as I said, a new version of this, which looks absolutely glorious, and it keeps being kickstarted. It's up to 6th edition now, and I keep thinking, should I not? It's always a case of where am I going to play it, who am I going to play it with, and so on. So, and my original copy, it got I think it got water damage on it, if I remember correctly. It was a bit of time ago. So picking this up, it wasn't too expensive on eBay. I've so far found one counter missing, a Polish cavalry. There might be others. I haven't done a complete in-depth counter search. It's only as well I was looking for a Polish cavalryman to actually be in a hex, and he wasn't there. There was a couple of others which are in different hexes. So I think I've made a honourable substitution. I think I got a what's a H? Holland? Hanoverian? Don't know. But there is a substitute cavalryman there who's not Polish. However, as I was showing with all the counters, there are a lot of them. So substituting one, yeah, that's fine. It's doable. So yeah, I'm ready to go. So I've got Anzio to finish. So I've read the rules. I'm going to probably read them again, and then I'll set up the Russian campaign, and I'll show you what that looks like with its display. Will I intersperse that with Anzio? Probably. I've got, sometimes my game playing is like a butterfly. I touch and look at that. Oh, look at that. That's shiny. I'll go and have a look at that. And oh, that's shiny. And I'll go and look at that. Hence why I do so many different videos at the same time, or the same series, or different series, whichever way you want to interpret it. So at the present moment, yes, there's Anzio going on. I've started this. I had a brief look at the that Moscow game, which is sitting at the shelf going, come on, have a more decent look. And also I'm doing on Vassal against Mark, the Plan Santoire, going through. I did look at a computer game, didn't I? Second Front. Yeah, that didn't go too well. And most of my subscribers and viewers, you're not really that interested. I can tell in the computer game. There was a brief dabble in people looking at it. And to be honest, I don't mind computer games, but I'm not good. Yeah. So you beat a computer? So what? Okay, I play solo on this and I beat myself. Yeah. Is that the same thing? I don't know. There is something about playing a physical board game with the physical pieces, which is nice. A nice tactile feel to it, and I do enjoy that. I do, as I say, quite a lot of things on Vassal and on the computer, and that's mainly due to space. I only have a small gaming table available at the present moment, so that limits what I can put down. These old games with the mounted mat boards, or some of the new ones with mounted mat boards, if it's not a fold where they have the folds and it all folds into one and it's a big thing, that's a mounted mat board, yay, but I can't really then squash it down to do anything with it to store it. So for example, let's go back to the map. Okay, so looking at the map here, so let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so you've got two map panels. I can put one of those carefully on top of the other one with the counters on it on a portable board. And so then I could store those on top of each other, even though it'll have counters on it, quite nicely. Let me show you what I mean using my Anzio. Hold on, let me go and get it. So let me pause this. So there's my Anzio storage solution. Okay. So, you know, all right, most of the counters are obviously on this side of the mat board. And on the other side of this mat board, there's nothing. On this mat board, there is actually only one piece. And then underneath all that are the actual orders of battle. So with that on top and that on top of that, I can store that in a cupboard, safe and sound. So then I will do the same or similar with the War and Peace. So that's it. Yeah, that's the problem with limited space with these sort of boards, these old classic boards. It's very useful that I can, you know, store them on a shelf. A full normal map sheet I can put onto a effectively 2 foot by 3 foot board, but that I can't put in a cupboard. So I can move it around. So if I'm going to want to play something else, I can put it into the bedroom, stick it on the bed, and then play something else. But then I have to bring it back because I still need to sleep. So so until I get a actual dedicated game room or a bigger table with more space, I'm limited to one mappers or this kind of problem solution, and then Vassal for other game. I mean, I'm all right. Plan Santois, I'm playing with Mark. Would have to play by Vassal because he lives 300 miles away. The after action report I did on the game, the Death Valley. Okay, that played a turn, and then I had to pack it away. So I recorded every hex, every position in there. It took an hour, but you know, when my opponent comes back, I'll set that again. It'll take another hour, but then we'll get 5 hours play out of it. So couldn't do that with 3 days of Gettysburg, especially the third day. But a small little one mapper, yeah, it's not too bad. Anywho, that's me waffling on. This was a War and Peace intro, and now I waffled on again. And you know, that's a problem with me in gaming. I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Love the hobby, love what I can put into it, and love what you guys give me when you do make your comments. And talking about comments, we're at that moaning time again. Hit the like button if you enjoy what I do. Go on, it doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you a penny, but it makes the chance of this getting seen by others more likely. Subscribe if you like what I do and you haven't done so already, because that would be appreciated. Again, that'll get my channel growing. The more subscribers I've got, the more the algorithm says, oh, someone else might be interested in that. And then it spreads what I do. And of course, comments I don't know how that affects the algorithm, but it affects me directly because I love reading your comments. I love interacting with the comments and you guys as well, because that's the whole point. Talking to you guys, showing you what I do, what I enjoy doing, and hopefully it resonates with yourselves and you respond back. Whinge over. Is that a whinge? It wasn't a whinge, was it? Just like, subscribe, comment, and it costs you guys absolutely nothing. So anyway, until next time. Bye, Internet.